Hello everyone. Thank you for watching Edupedia World videos. So the first topic in our SAP Basis and NetWeaver training is concepts of ERP. What does ERP stand for? Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So what are these ERP systems? These are incredibly large, extensive software packages used to manage a firm's business process. They are standard software packages that must be configured to meet the needs of a company. And they have database programs which do the following functions, that is input, storage, retrieval, manipulation and output. So, being the specific ERP systems are large computer systems that integrate application programming in accounting, sales, manufacturing and other functions in the firm. This integration is accomplished through a database shared by all the application programs. So, this ERP systems are nothing but they are very huge software packages which are built for a company. Okay, and they have to follow some set of standard rules. Okay, and they are nothing but a set of database programs which get an input, they store it somewhere, they manipulate that data and produce an output. So for example, let us take a huge shipbuilding company. We have many departments in that. We have the technical departments, non-technical departments, top level management. So the technical department actually builds the ship, whereas the non-technical department, they manage different processes in the company. So to build a ship, we need some raw material. So they have to purchase it. So there is one purchase department. Then they'll store it for some time. Then there is some stores for that. Again, they take that material, they construct the ship. Okay, so to manage all these expenses, there will be one more like finance department. So in that technical department also you'll have many subdivisions. Similarly, you'll have the top level management who monitors everything. Okay, so to communicate among all of them, to improve the communication, to speed up these processes, so we use software. And these ERP systems are nothing but they are such softwares which are built to manage any company's business process. So nothing but they integrate all the entire business process in a firm or a company. And what is the core? What is the backbone of this ERP system? It's nothing but we need to have a database, because all the data, whatever like we retrieve, we manipulate and we give an output, it has to be stored in a database. Now, a typical ERP system will use multiple components of computer hardware and software to achieve the integration. A key ingredient of most ERP systems is the use of a unified database to store data for various system modules. So that is the key. It's like a backbone for any ERP system is nothing but a database. So this ERP software is broken down into different business processes, like you'll have human resource management, distribution, financials, manufacturing. You can have n number of these are nothing but business processes. Now, who are big ERP vendors? We have understood like what is an ERP system. Okay, so it's nothing but a software which is built to manage all the business process in a firm, and it needs to have a database at the back end. So the software, it retrieves the data from the database, it manipulates it and gives an output. Now, so that is an ERP system. Now who are these ERP vendors? We have Oracle E-Business Suite, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards from Oracle. We have Microsoft Dynamics from Microsoft. Similarly, we have n number of ERP systems, softwares. SAP Business by Design, SAP Business One, SAP Business Suite, SAP Business All-in-One. These are the products from SAP. And SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. So we have so many ERP vendors. We have some from Oracle, some from Microsoft, and SAP is like it's the topmost. That's what this entire training is about. SAP basis and NetWeaver training. Okay, so this SAP is nothing but it's one of a very huge ERP vendor. So SAP is nothing but it's an ERP software. SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products. This is like an overview of ERP. So an ERP system has to manage like n number of business processes like the production, accounting, HR, delivery, business integration, BI, sales, engineering, planning, production, purchase, inventory. A firm may have n number of departments depending upon like what type of firm it is. So to integrate all that, this ERP systems have come into procedure. The next one is ERP Evolution. So in 1960s, huge systems were created just for inventory control. Like software was built only for inventory control. Then in 1970s, they have come up with material requirement planning. That is inventory with material planning and procurement. In 80s, they came up with MRP2, that is manufacturing resource planning, like extended MRP to shop floor and distribution management. Then in mid of 1990s, they have come with ERP, enterprise resource planning, which covers all the activities of an enterprise. And from 2000 onwards, they have come with ERP2, the collaborative commerce, like extending ERP to external business entities. Now, why we need ERP systems? First thing is like to integrate the financial information, to integrate the customer order information, then to standardize and speed up operations process, to reduce the inventory, to standardize human resource information, common definitions, common database, update one module automatically updates others. ERP systems reflect a specific way of doing businesses. You must look at your value chains rather than functions. So these are the advantages of an ERP system. Nothing but the basic core idea behind all this is like integration. To have one common ground for all the different tasks which are performed in a business. You have some limitations also, of course, like the cost will be high, forced change of process, very complex software, lack of trained people, flexibility of software system upgrades, implementation timelines, availability of internal technical knowledge and resources, education and training, implementation strategy and execution, resistance to change. So once you have built, a company has brought one ERP system, first of all, we need budget for that cost. Then it's nothing but it's a very huge complex software. Then we need to have some trained people also. To train people also, it involves huge cost. And then flexibility of software system upgrades, implementation timelines, like this, availability of internal technical knowledge and resources. So building a system is not yet done. You have to maintain it. So you have to train like the people in the industry as well as the end clients who are dependent on that industry. Okay, so it needs a lot of monitoring as well as it needs we need to have a lot of support also from all the groups. So there are some limitations for ERP systems. We have seen like many ERP systems, like companies have built ERP systems, but they were unable to maintain it and they have, rolled back it. Just because they are not able to maintain whatever, outputs they have desired have not come after, establishing the ERP systems. So they have simply, rolled back them also. Such cases are also there. So SAP is like a king in an ERP as of now. SAP, as we discussed, it stands for Systems, Applications and Products. So in 1972, it was formed by 5 former IBM employees. So they started a company known as Systems, Applications and Products and Data Processing in Germany. The vision was to develop standard application software for real-time business processing. 1 year later, the first financial accounting software is complete, forming the basis for the continuous development of other software components in what later came to be known as R1 system. R stands for real-time data processing. In 1980s, intensive examination of SAP's IBM database and dialog control system leads to the birth of SAP R2. SAP designs SAP R2 to handle different languages and currencies. So the first one is the logo of SAP. They say like the best run businesses run SAP. So in 1972, SAP was established, Systems, Applications and Products in Germany. So initially they have come with R1. It's R stands for real-time data processing. Then later in 80s they have developed R2. Okay, so this R2 was to handle different languages and currencies, that particular software. So it had like IBM database was there at the back end. Then in 1990s, SAP R3 came into the market. This R3 is nothing but the client. It has client-server architecture, uniform appearance of graphical interfaces, consistent use of relational databases, and the ability to run on computers from different vendors meets with overwhelming approval. So then actually SAP had coming to the main picture once R3 has come. So R3 is nothing but an entire, it's made up of the client-server architecture. It uses relational databases at the backend and even graphical user interface. With SAP R3, SAP ushers in a new generation of enterprise software from mainframe computing to 3-tier architecture of database, application and user interface. To this day, the client-server architecture is the standard in business software. So R3 is a client-server architecture. Okay, so we have the database layer, application layer and the presentation, the user interface on the top. And it uses relational database and graphical interface. As decades draw to a close, mysap.com strategy is introduced by starting a beginning of a new direction for the company and our product portfolio. mysap.com links e-commerce solutions to existing ERP applications using the state-of-art web technology. So till R3, like it was not, web was not there. So now we are with mysap.com. So it integrates all web also. So SAP is like integrating with third-party softwares also using web technologies. In 2000s, with internet, the user becomes the focus of software applications. SAP develops SAP Workplace and paves the way for the idea of an enterprise portal and role-specific access to information. So coming to 2000, the user becomes the focus of software applications. SAP develops SAP Workplace. So here we have a portal, a web portal, and we have access, like depending upon our role, we have role-specific access to the information. SAP R3 was arranged into distinct function modules covering the typical functions in place in an organization. The most widely used modules were finance and controlling, human resources, material management, sales and distribution, and production planning. So now we have different modules in SAP, that is FICO, HR, MM, SD and PP. Each module handled specific business tasks on its own but was linked to the others where applicable. SAP typically focused on best practice methodologies for driving its software process. To gear towards a particular market segment such as utilities or retail, SAP produced specialized modules referred to as IS or industry specific. First, SAP had only R1. Then came R2. It had only client server architecture. Next, they have brought up SAP R3, that is the client server architecture. It had a backend relational database and it had graphical user interfaces. Okay, so then from then onwards, it's a turning point, in SAP. Now, further, they have developed mysap.com, where they are using web technologies by linking other e-commerce solutions to the existing ERP applications. So here, like with the net, you can access anywhere from the world. Just by having internet, you can access the software. Similarly, like they have, divided into different modules also in SAP, like FICO, HR, MM, SD, PP, etc. And each module like handled specific business tasks on its own, but it was also linked to the other modules whenever applicable. And SAP started using best practice methodologies. And now we have like SAP produced specialized modules referred as industry specific also, like for oil, for petroleum. So we need to have some specific software for that. So even SAP has come up and is also coming up with such software. They are known as industry specific softwares. So actually this is the release of SAP if you see. So actually from R3 we will consider the SAP, software which is come into existence. R1, R2 they have developed, but it was not widely used. So the turning point in SAP is like the starting of R3. They have released from 3.1 to 4.6c, where we have the application and SAP basis. SAP, here comes SAP, the term SAP basis. This basis is nothing but it sits in the middle to help administrator applications. Now, then came R3 Enterprise 4.7. It had extensions like application with some extensions. Then they have introduced web application server. So we have different versions like 6.6.2, 3 and 4. Example, like it was used on Oracle 9.2. Then we have mysap.com, that is mysap ERP 2004. We have application extensions, and further we have like the additional functions like HR, BW content, etc. And here the technology side also developed, like from web application server they have developed portal, business intelligence, exchange infrastructure. So that's how SAP is proceeding now. So right now we are on 7. We have ABAP as well as Java also. Okay, so this is the functionality. It was only a simple application. Then they had that application with some extensions. Now we have that extensions as well as additional more functions which can be processed through web. When we see the technology side, initially it was termed as SAP basis. Then we have web application server. Now we have web application server, portals, business intelligence, exchange infrastructure as a. So that is ECC 5.0 and NetWeaver 4, ECC 6, NetWeaver 2004S. So that's how SAP is proceeding now. What is this SAP NetWeaver? In our previous slide, we have seen the concept of basis in NetWeaver. So SAP NetWeaver is SAP's technology platform. It is used to build and run applications, SAP applications and customer applications. SAP ERP runs on SAP. So this SAP NetWeaver is nothing but it is the platform, the technology platform for the ERP software to run. So using this technology, like we built many SAP applications as well as customer specific applications. Now the set NetWeaver has different stacks like people integration, information integration, process integration, application platform. Now this NetWeaver has different components like people integration means like enterprise portal and SAP mobile. Information integration is like BI business intelligence and master data management. The process integration is like XI. Next we have application platform like ABAP and Java engine. The SAP basis components is the root of the SAP ERP application software. It provides the runtime environment for rest of the R3 applications. It ensures that applications are optimally integrated in the system environment. So the subject of our training is basis and NetWeaver. So this basis and NetWeaver is nothing but it's the technology platform on which all the applications of SAP are built and executed. So initially it was called as basis, now it is known as NetWeaver. This technology, the core platform on which all applications, how they run and everything. Initially it was termed as basis. So this previous slide, initially it was known as SAP basis, then it's known as web application server. So now it's known as NetWeaver, nothing but web application server with other features like portal, business intelligence, the XI, Exchange, infrastructure, etc. So that is what is known as basis and NetWeaver. Now, why is SAP successful? We have so many other ERP softwares. Out of them, like why SAP stands on the top? Because it has real-time processing with an integrated suite of client-server applications, comprehensive, open, business process orientation, fully integrated business process, modular structure, international yet consistent, providing maximum flexibility and scalability, strong backbone for future technologies. OSS stands for Online SAP Service, 24-hour support available. Not like the other ERP softwares which were developed from Oracle, Microsoft do not have this, but SAP has almost everything. Okay, so it is integrated. Okay, then it's like platform independent, like underlying data. Almost all ERP softwares are platform independent, but we have some restrictions. But SAP is like it provides maximum flexibility, and it's like a backbone for future technologies also. You can extend it. Now initially they have only like server architectures, then client server architecture. Now it has extended to the web also, like it's integrated with web as well. Then they do provide like 24/7 online support. That's why like it has most of the plus factors which have brought SAP on the top compared to the other ERP softwares. Why is SAP successful? As we have discussed, like secure, whatever business processing of data happens, it's very secure, it's integrated worldwide, it is there, it follows some best business practices. That's what multi-currency. So that's why these are some of the highlights like which have made SAP to emerge as a successful ERP software. Integration is very important. So all the different business process like production, sales order, okay, material resource planning, like purchase requisition, purchase order, goods receipt, stock and consumption accounts like updated. In the middle like finance, like say for a production to happen, you need to have to run through this entire cycle. The finance department manages like you put in a sales order, then you purchase it, you get a receipt, then you stock it and you consume it, and the accounts are updated and the production happens. So you buy, you store, you process, and the output is delivered. Production happens. To manage all this, we need cost, that is FICO, finance and control is in the middle. So it has like now that's why like we have different modules. Like for this finance we have FICO, ST for sales orders, MM for material resource planning. like this. That's why even SAP has developed different modules also to make the process easier, and all these modules are again integrated. SAP methodology. SAP stands for Accelerated SAP. As we have said, like SAP uses the best practices, it follows. So this is one of the, it follows SAP methodology. Its purpose is to help design SAP implementation in the most efficient manner possible. Its goal is to effectively optimize time, people, quality, and other resources using a proven methodology to implementation. SAP focuses on tools and training wrapped up in a 5-phase process-oriented roadmap for guiding implementation. The roadmap is composed of 5 well-known consecutive phases. First, you prepare the project, business blueprint, realization, final preparation, then go live and support. So to build this SAP ERP software, they mostly use this SAP methodology. It stands for Accelerated SAP. So the purpose of this is to design right from the scratch. They start, you have to project preparation, then they prepare a blueprint, then realization means like finally what is required, that is made, the final preparation is made, and then the go live and the support happens. So SAP systems are built using this methodology. So this is nothing but just an overview of what is ERP and SAP. So once we'll just go back and see. So we have started with what is ERP, enterprise resource planning, what are these systems, why they are required, the different ERP vendors. So then we have seen an ERP overview, like how the different business processes are linked. Then we have seen how ERP is evolved, the different phases of ERP evolution, why ERP is used, limitations of ERP, then how SAP has, how SAP is born, that we have seen. So initially it came up with R2, R1. R1 is nothing but it was a simple software, just a real-time data processing. Then they came up with R2, server architecture, and finally with R3, that's the client server architecture. Then they have moved to mysap.com, so nothing but linking e-commerce solutions with existing ERP applications, that is integrating web with ERP applications. Then next, like SAP has its own modules like FICO, HR, MM, SD, PP, etc. So we have seen like how the functionality moved, and similarly how the technology platform also it improved. So what is SAP NetWeaver and Basis? We have seen in this slide, it's nothing but it's a core technology platform on which all these applications are built and executed. So even this NetWeaver has different stacks like people integration, information integration, process integration, and the actual underlying application platform. Earlier it was known as Basis, now it's known as NetWeaver. Next we have seen like why SAP is successful in all the ERP solutions, among all the ERP solutions. These are nothing but the examples to quote it. And finally, SAP uses SAP Accelerated SAP methodology for the project implementation, the ERP implementation, like how an SAP system is built, and then finally it moves into go live and support phase. So now we are completed with the first topic. Thank you.